Hey y'all, Taylor with GammaEdge here coming at you with the market recap for October 23rd, 2025. Really makes sense starting off with the market trend model. Yeah, so obviously yesterday that was the action that we did not want to see. It was not unsurprising though, given kind of the momentum thrust we saw. Monday into Tuesday, Wednesday consolidation day, Thursday, right, linear up day, which, our terminology just means that sustained buying via the market trend model, which is what we're looking at. I already said that. It's based off the tick index. If you're not sure what that is, feel free to Investopedia that. It's just a way to look under the hood to see what, buying and selling transactions are being presented to the various exchanges. Another positive factor today is we saw filtered tick buying step into the market too, right? This is the way that we measure significant buying or selling. In the case of today, it was significant to the upside. Yes, on a 1 day basis, yesterday was tough, but something that we noted was, while in the short term, very, very short term, intraday, momentum was to the downside, our bullish momentum signal, right, that gates our two mechanical strategies, P2P strategy, P trans plus GEX, two of our key levels, significantly outperforms the SPS, right, on various backtests that we have well documented, and then our GammaEdge wheel strategy. Both of those were still technically turned on, meaning that we were looking for trades to the long side as those signals fired. Right, but all in all, nice recovery today. Exactly what you wanted to see if you're a bull. So now we just want to see a continuation higher, really just stacking days like today, one on top of the other. Going from there makes sense to cover SPX game plan. We did it in pre-market real quick. Keep in mind, YouTube live video, we did 25, 30 minutes or whatever, this pre-market kind of right at the bell. So I'm not going to go through everything we covered there. So you guys can go review that if you want to, kind of give a flavor of what our pre-market process looks like. But looking at the SPX full complex, right, I think we managed to finish right in the top of the transition zone, maybe slightly above. We finished it. Yeah, so we're above. So that is constructive, right? Yesterday saw a lot of puts coming in, or yesterday into today, we saw a lot of puts coming into the structure on a day over day change basis, which is not good for the bullish foundation, right? But given the movement today, that's why we do this every day. We want to come tomorrow to see, if these out of the money puts are replaced, kind of burned up after the move today, replaced again by in the money calls, and we see out of the money call speculation build. So that's gonna be important. But so long as we are above the transition zone market trend model looking the way that it does, all systems are go to the upside. From there, it's really just finding those swing candidates, right? Still talking on a swing time frame here, right? In our P2P strategy, we give you what those candidates are. That has not been updated yet tonight, but that will be updated probably shortly. And then, right, our wheel strategy, we're working to automate that. Right now, we have to post those trades for you every day, but we're working to get that automated in Discord over the next couple weeks for you guys. And then, lastly, in the swing trading game plan, go over a couple stocks I took today, but I actually took a lot today. I took Palo Alto, I took Bank of America, MU, Lyft, and AMD. So it's all small size on those. Want to see those work, kind of trial balloons. All of them finished in the green actually, except PNW. I'll post a little P&L recap here in the Discord when I'm done with this. But anyways, yeah, a lot of those are just derived from the various watch lists we put out in the morning. Yeah, we have a bull, we have a bear list. Put some scatter plots out, looking to see the positioning of kind of the Mag 7 and those key stocks of the market, those that dominate the index. And then looking at, other call dominated stocks, just kind of getting a feel, just a nice visual of what their upside and downside looks like. So that is all in the Discord for you. Now back to 0DT, and that's what a lot of folks here like to focus on. Here, the key upside level was 67.10 to the upside. Thing from there we noted is between 67.10, which is kind of our key first upside level. Above that level, then we are more bullish than we are bearish. Up to 67.40, there was a little bit of a gap in terms of just looking at the distribution of speculation. We can see that relative to the positioning at 67.40, 67.10, it's just a lot less on a net basis, which is our synthetic open interest, the way that we look at it. So all that means is there was more room to wiggle around in there. So while the bias was sideways to higher, there could be a little bit of chop still in that area. It's exactly what we said in the pre-market. And then, right, just, hitting here, we go through a lot of detail on, the specific key levels we're looking at, if then statements off at any of those. So again, quite robust there. And then going back to price action itself, early in the session, Top of our transition zone right in here. Yeah, I mean, not a ton else to say. It was just, a, a buying day higher, for lack of a better term. The way that we see that, the way that we say that definitively is one, right? The market trend model, we've already talked about that, linear up day, all that good stuff, filter tick buying. Second is if we look at our intraday volume analysis, right, which is our um, analysis of SPX 0DT volume. Sorry, just getting to the bottom of the channel. Here we can see, right, this is just a classic kind of flat top move higher. What I mean by flat top move higher is, so calls are in green above, puts are in red below. So call centroids we're trending higher throughout the sideways to higher throughout the entire session. This is a classic pattern for a grind higher, sideways to higher, grind higher. It was a tongue twister. No idea why that was. And then the other important thing here is the put centroid is moving definitively higher throughout the session, right? So there's really no material downside speculation that holds, right? We can see, yes, it is jagged, but it's jagged moving higher. That centroid line of best fit was pointing higher throughout the entire session. And so let's just scroll back so I make it like tangible for you guys. How you actually, I understand that we're looking at the end of the day snapshot with nothing wrong with that. Because, right, keep in mind, all your favorite sports teams are looking at the end of the day snapshot. So why wouldn't we be doing it? But anyways, the point is, here's a snapshot at 1:15 Eastern Standard Time from today. Here we can see, right, the flat top call centroid moving sideways to higher. Line of best fit is gradually moving higher throughout the session. Put centroid side is definitively moving up kind of at a 45-degree angle. So it's just a classic sideways to higher kind of price action, right? And we're not making anything up. This is literally how speculators are speculating. This is the behavior of speculating, which is speculation was exactly what the call centroids and put centroids are measuring. And then, assuming all else equal, we can draw linear regressions to understand kind of what the likely path of price is to the close. Right, and very important for two reasons this kind of analysis to do. One, can understand what the character price action is, whether that be trending higher, chopping, trending lower, and then, right, we can understand where price is, likely to go into the close. So, that informs a lot of folks use that for their butterfly trades into the close, selling premium above and below spot price, understanding where spot price is likely not to go. And then, from an intraday kind of futures perspective, understanding, okay, should I have a larger range expectation, shorter range expectation? Are we choppy? Are we trending higher, trending lower? So you can understand that this is really applicable to most intraday trading strategies. Right, and so with that, not a ton else to say. Moving tomorrow, right? SPX 0DT will get those updates in the morning. Understand that analysis, right? Because it's a bit more bespoke to an individual day. But from a swing trading time frame, right? Market trend model looks great. Mechanical strategies are turned on, looking for entries. Right, there's good stock candidates out there. The watch list that we post are going to find those, right? Looking for call dominated stocks, looking for those with institutional momentum. We can go through a couple that I got in today. So one was Palo Alto Networks. That is not in our scripts, but I think I posted here. Yeah, I mean, looks good. Call dominated stock, right? Above its transition zone, 210, kind of that key level. Then upside move to 220 and potentially 230. So that one looked good. Looking at Bank of America. Now the computer wants to be slow. It's the end of the night. I get it, right? Looking at it today, what made it interesting, right? Simply just a higher low formed yesterday, holding at 0 GEX, got above P-trans, and really just continued higher. So that was a great trade. Obviously, used P-trans, 0 GEX is kind of those key levels of size risk against. Looking at what is this, Micron? Yeah, looking at Micron. I mean, same thing. Higher low on the chart. Took out prior day high. Honestly, don't love this trade as much now. Looking at the weekly, it's absolutely rips the upside, but right, it's just I just put a trade on for next week, so that's fine. It should be fine, right? Just wanting to hold again, P-trans above P-trans, breaking above prior day high above P-trans, like that's exactly what you want. Here's AMD, kind of same thought process, right? Held 0 GEX, held P-trans early in the session, consolidated, continue to push higher. That's where I took the trade. So again, easy place to size risk against 0 GEX, and then lift. Same thought process there, right? Holding P-trans yesterday, again today, took out prior day high, all that good stuff. So, all these stocks are looking constructive. I did small size in all of them. So kind of my testers, feelers to see if, we want to move higher. Again, most of them are kind of positioned for next week or the week after that. So these are pretty short duration trades. All are up right now. So we'll see what tomorrow brings us. But with that, appreciate the time. Y'all have a good night. Thank you. Bye.